Good evening, ladies and gents. How are you doing? It is Middle-Aged Gamer Guy here, and we are back for another Tuesday night gaming chat where we talk about all the latest gaming news and reviews from the last 7 days or so. How are you, lovely lot? We've got to start off straight away by saying a big shout out to Jenny, resubscribed for 15 months at Tier 1. That's now been subscribed for 20 months. Thank you so much, Jenny. Thank you for doing that sub right at the start of the show. Greatly appreciate it. Let's say hello to everyone else. Gozzo, good evening. You were here nice and early. Mr. Johnson is making sure I behave. Yes, he's on patrol tonight. Kindred, good evening. How you doing? Phantom, good evening. As I mentioned, Jenny, thank you so much for that sub. Greatly appreciate it. Good to see you. Danka, good evening. Hope you're well. iQuail, good evening. Good to see you. Flame, hello. Nice to see all the regulars here, as always. Phantom says, I'm currently a human burrito. How are you lot doing? You might have to explain why you are a human burrito. That is bizarre. But there you go. There you go. Welcome to the show, folks. Oh, dear. In bed wrapped up. That's what my thoughts were, but I thought I'd let her explain it. There you go. Gozzo went to the Nottingham Gaming Market 2 days ago. That's the replay events one, wasn't it? Was it good? Was it good? He said it was a great event. Nottingham Video Games Expo announced their event, actually, which is at the same venue. So they announced on Friday. So I'm guessing you're going to be at that, Gozzo. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be there because I'm going to be in South America for my sins on a couple of shows, as you do. So unfortunately, I'm going to miss it this year because it was a good show last year. So should be good. Should be good. But we have got Alex coming on the show in a couple of weeks, talking all about it. So he'll be unveiling all his guests and everything. So that'll be cool. So there you go. Yes, there you go. Single bed, duvet cover. I very much am a human burrito. There you go. Yeah, it's September the 28th for Nottingham Game Art. September the 28th? I thought it was in July. What was July? If it's September, I can go to it. If it's July, I can't go. I was going to say, yeah, I thought it was July. I think there might be another replay one in September, though, because they seem to be doing 2 a year in Nottingham. But there you go. Being a mule in South America, I mean, wherever I can make money, Kindred, let's face it. And if it means shoving drugs up my ass, why not? There you go. I didn't get much sleep last night, so I'm very comfortable tonight. Oh, you're going to be dropping off. Oh, there you go. Yeah. So July's Alex's one, and then it's replays one in September. There you go. So there you go. That makes sense. Oh, there you go. Also had to go to work 2 hours early. Boo to that. Boo to that. Anyway, can't do the show without myself. By myself. Out myself. That'd be weird. But I've got my co-host who knows the most. Please give it up for the one, the only Mr. David Jones.
Good evening, mate. How you doing?
I am very well. How are you?
I'm doing all right. Evening, everyone in chat. Hope you're all doing well.
There you go. Hope you're all well. Exclamation Dave in the chat. Show your appreciation to the one and only Dave. There you go. There it goes. Nightbot going crazy. Dave! There you go. Yeah, Phantom says, if I suddenly disappear, I've fallen asleep. That's fine. It's fine. Yeah, making money by sticking things up my ass. So mainly buckets. Yes. What do I mean, the one and only Dave? The one and only Dave.
Good for him.
So. Yeah. No,
it's nice he's there.
He was here first. So there you go. There you go. How you been? What you been playing this week?
I've been good, thanks, mate. I've been keeping up with the Nintendo Switch 2 news since that came out. Was it last week? Managed to get a pre-order in for that.
Woo! Good man.
A fool and his money are easily parted. I am. But apart from doing that, and having to wait 2 months for the thing to come out, I've been carrying on with Split Fiction. Got a bit further on that one. Done the first proper fantasy world. So finished the boss fight on that one. That was pretty good. So back to, I think, the futuristic world. Good game. Enjoyed it. Lots of lots of fun aside bits you can do in there. And apart from that, I've been playing a little bit of Black Ops 6 multiplayer. I do quite like that. Nice and quick and fast to play. So that's definitely my sort of multiplayer stuff. And then I've been playing a bit of Pacific Drive because that's had like a new update recently. It's added quite a lot of stuff. And it's got endless expeditions. It's still using like their sort of the roguelike stuff that they've got, but it's putting more restrictions in, and you've got to do certain things then escape from the route that it sent you on. So
Nice.
I've only done, like one of them, which was quite easy. But I believe it will, build up and get harder and have like more restrictions. It'll
That'd be cool.
be a bit more risk reward. Have all these restrictions, but you can
Yeah.
get these rewards if you finish it. So I'm going to carry on playing a bit of that because I think that was my favourite game from last year.
Yeah, that was in your top five.
Any excuse to play a bit more of it, definitely there.
I mean, we've got Dan from Kepler Interactive on the show at the end of the month because obviously they got Claire Obscura Expedition 33. So I know he's going to want to talk about that, but he was very happy to hear that Pacific Drive made our top 15 games of the year. So if you play a bit more of that, you can let him know what you think when he's on the show in about 2-3 weeks' time. So that'll be cool. Yeah, so there you go. Yes. Oh, Jenny asked, are you fully better now, Dave?
Oh yeah, I'm all fine now. I was better last week when I came back on. It wasn't anything major, just one of those stupid colds that hangs around. But I was coughing away on the Tuesday, so it would have been any good me coming on a couple of weeks ago. So I've just been making a right racket on over the microphone all evening.
Yeah,
fun.
Yeah. There you go. Kinju says, I started South of Midnight tonight. Not got too far, but looks and plays good. Well, we will be talking about that tonight because obviously that came out today. And for any of those who saw in my Discord, we were due to play it next Monday because Descenders Next it was also coming out this week, but that's been pushed back to a unknown date. So I've moved the South of Midnight stream forward to this Thursday. So I will be playing that now on Thursday. But we'll talk about that a bit later on the show because the reviews dropped quite early for that one. So that's why we've included it in. But shall we bring in tonight's guests? We'll stop nattering about stuff because all I've been playing is Atomfall. That's what you need to know. I'm enjoying it now. And I think they've patched that bug because I haven't had that problem since I did the stream last week. Sound going off. So I'm really enjoying Atomfall. And I want to try and get it finished before I then go on to South of Midnight. So, because South of Midnight's a slightly less longer game by about 3 hours. So, kind of want to hammer through those two. But there you go. We have a saying in Liverpool, and it is we have a Sayers in Liverpool. They're all talking about Greggs. But yeah, this is not the kind of Greggs we're talking about. We're not talking about bakery goods, people. It's our guest this evening, ladies and gentlemen. This gentleman is a gaming journalist. He has written for the likes of What Culture, Gamer Ranks, and has his blog on the Fingerguns website. I'm sure that our mods will drop all his socials in. Please welcome to tonight's guest is the wonderful Greg Hicks.
Evening.
How you doing?
Evening. I'm good. I can hear myself coming back through. Hang on.
Okay.
Oh, I'm all right. Sorry. You can tell I haven't been on camera for a while. I haven't set my light up. I got a giant shiny forehead going on. It's been a while.
That's all right. That's all right. How you doing? Welcome to the show.
I'm good. I'm very happy to be here. And you can thank Mr. Johnson in the chat for setting this up.
Yeah, it is Mr. Johnson's. Well, I was going to say fault, but yeah, he says I didn't do it because he thought it's my fault. But it's not. No, he did it. So thank you for introducing us and getting us on the show.
Yeah, that's what I like about being in this gaming sphere of being with journalism. Is nice to actually reach out and have contacts that get things sorted and that kind of stuff. And he's used to being blamed. I knew.
Bless him.
He can never take a compliment, can he?
He can never take a compliment, and he's already quit one time so far. So there you go. All Greg's links are there. You've got. I'm going to go through them. So there's the link to what Greg's written for What Culture. You've got your Twitch channel, the Fingerguns. We'll talk all about these. His Insta, his Blue Sky, his Twitter. It's all there. So if you want to go check Greg out, check out the blogs. Go. So, how did you get into gaming journalism and kind of where did it start for you?
It started 7 years ago. 7 years in July, actually. My friends. A friend of mine, Ross, who's one of the editors at Fingerguns, I've known him since secondary school. He has been doing a few sites with a guy named Sean Davies and Paul Collett. They have done PS Gamer. They were the original Thumb Culture.
Ah, okay.
And we don't talk about Thumb Culture because they like to plagiarize work, specifically my work. And I called them out on it, and they went, "We don't know who you are." And it's like, you do, because Sean and Ross and Paul split off and became Fingerguns. But that's the story for another day. So yeah, basically I reached out to Ross and they were looking for writers, and I said, can I give it a go? Because I think I can spell and do word good. And basically it just came from that. And then through that I reached out to What Culture because I wanted to expand portfolio. And I haven't written for What Culture in a while, actually, just because life got in the way in various jobs. But I still keep in touch with them, and I've still done the occasional like, op-ed piece. So yeah, just mainly focus on Fingerguns. That's my primary source of reviews, and yeah, I like to use that as connections, but I like to use that to I use that as the platform to go to events, and as my focal point would be Fingerguns.
Cool.
All the links that you put up there, as Dave reminded me, I haven't actually updated my Twitch in a while. I started a schedule going, which I haven't touched for about 2 years. He was like, "Oh yeah, your schedule's still up there." I was like, "Oh wait, I'm not playing Phantom Pain and Alan Wake anymore."
Yes. Okay. So I was going to say, it's not that old. Dave says not that old. It's about 2 years. Yeah. I mean, Alan Wake. What? Christmas.
2010.
Yeah.
It was the
original Alan Wake. Yeah. Okay.
That's how long it's been. Yeah. No, the second one's been out since I streamed.
Since you streamed. Oh, Christ. Okay. Right. Okay. Yeah. All right. Then yeah, we'll do that. iQual says I met them in Liverpool. Did I mention Liverpool is also awesome in terms of gunship?
Oh, nice. They've never done a live show, which is really annoying.
That's bizarre, isn't it?
And yeah, unless there's one I've missed, but I'm pretty sure they've never done a live show because it's obviously like some of the guys from Fightstar and stuff like that. And they've got 3 albums out now. They've got Tim Capello from Lost Boys and Kat Von D and the guy who wrote Altered Carbon does the intro.
Oh yeah,
yeah. They've got all this clout and they are like highly regarded in synthwave, but they just haven't done a live show. I mean, they could do like a Gorillaz thing and put a virtual one on, but I just don't think they have. There's all this cry for it, and they just go.
People are weird. People are strange. Oh, there you go. It was an album.
It was an album signing. Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah. So they haven't done a gig then, have they?
Yeah, there you go.
Cheeky sods.
Wait, they've done a single show. No,
have they?
No.
They've done a single show. What? When live? Yeah. No. What? Oh, shut up, Dave.
No, never. No, it's just Dave. Typically being Dave. Cool. We were sharing our I don't know what you call it, love/hatred for gaming events, especially EGX, how bad it was before we started the show. The fact that Greg went there was like, yeah, I can't write anything about this shit show. My words, not his. Just stating that.
Oh, he's paraphrasing what I wrote. I pretty much said there's not a lot here to really write about. And yeah, when it was billed as a big combination of EGX and MCM, and it was like, oh, it's going to be the meeting of the two things. And it was like the meeting of the big thing with some games.
Yeah.
That are already out.
I think they're either going to do that again, or it's just not going to happen. It'll just be MCM, and there's a couple of video games at MCM. But
like, do you want to play Street Fighter 2 arcade cabinets all day? Not really.
No, I can do that anywhere, really.
Yeah, exactly.
No,
do you want to come along and play LAN Fortnite? Not really. Yeah. Well, we've set up 10 consoles. Oh,
yeah, that did make me laugh. They went because every year they used to have the new Call of Duty at the show, and they made a big thing about it. They got Black Ops 6 there. Yeah, in the LAN area, like it was the first time that they didn't have a Call of Duty.
Everything else, yeah, exactly. It was just like, oh right,
great.
Do you want to play Lawnmower Simulator? No, why not?
Yeah, it was all right when it was in 2021. You could play Lawnmower
exactly because that was testing the waters and press one back and all that. But it was just like someone had Street Fighter 6 booth set up, and it was just it wasn't even a booth. It was just 10 consoles on a rope, wasn't it?
Yeah, and they basically had like 2 flags coming down. Like there wasn't any production or anything.
I was talking to I know this not to name drop, but I know Matt Edwards who does the Street Fighter stuff for Capcom.
Yes,
and he was like, yeah, they didn't really plan this. I'm like, but it's EGX. How did you not? It's like a set calendar thing, isn't it?
Yeah. And then it's mad because obviously we were talking about it's shame like WASD's gone and stuff. But WASD obviously they had the big Tekken stand not last year, the year before. So promoting Tekken 8 about 5 months before it was due to come out.
Yeah, that was in the corner, wasn't it? Yeah,
it was in the corner. That was well thought out. And you're thinking you got that, and then you go to EGX, and they've just got
you had all the Devolver stuff, and you had everything else. And and Play On were doing System Shock.
Yes, yeah. There was so much good stuff there. But I don't know. Did you manage to, or are you going to any of the stuff for London Games Festival? Because I was over at New Game Plus on Friday. I didn't know whether
I haven't looked. I need to see what I can do with work and if there's anything going on to apply. But I wouldn't mind it. But it's just I need to prioritize some stuff.
Yeah, there's a couple of good things. I could only go to that at the start, which was last week. But what I went to was good. And I got to play a load of indie games, which is good. But we'll have to give you a press pass to Timeless. we'll sort you out and get you to come to our event. And then
Yeah.
if you don't like it, you never have to talk to me again. So you can
One
talk
time
to
guest-
Dave. And then
One-time guest
me.
spot. Yeah, I'll just blame
Yeah.
Dave for this. Don't worry,
Yeah,
no,
just
it's all
blame
going to go at Dave. If everything goes wrong, I'm blaming your PA.
Yeah, just go. Yeah, come to our event. And you go, it was shit, and you just go blame Dave. It was go.
Dave, you're not coming to visit again ever.
Yeah, there you go. EGX review with Mag, Greg, Dave unsubscribes. I mean, if they bring it back, we could maybe do that this year.
Yeah, this is a call to prove us wrong, you know.
Yeah. EGX, be good, maybe. But there we go.
It should be the excellent game expo, you know.
Yeah, the shit show, a bit like Voldemort, the shit show of a games expo that shall not be named. There you go. Will, hello.
The show that died.
Yeah. Bring it back.
EGX is dead. Yeah.
Oh dear. Anyway.
Oh, I got crap doing that.
Yeah.
I got sick. I'm getting old.
Oh dear. Right. Should we crack on with the show?
Yeah, let's get to it, mate.
Let's do it. If you do want to check out any of Greg's stuff, can I have all Greg's links in? Please do go check out his blogs and everything there. Thank you, Dave.
Only half of them are still alive. You get to find out which ones are still alive.
Yeah, it's part of the game. It's a new game we've introduced. You know, find out which links work. There you go. So tonight it's our 211th show. We are going to be talking about some games from. We've extended a little bit. It's slightly more than 7 days. We've got things like Inzoi, talking about the early access for that, which came out at the end of the month because reviews didn't really drop in time for last week's show. We have got The Last of Us Part 2 remastered, which has finally made its way remastered onto PC. Can't wait for that. And the game that everyone's quite excited for, the claymation game of South of Midnight, which dropped on Xbox and PC literally today. So we've got some games that we're actually talking about today. That, and we're going to be talking about the backlash of Nintendo Switch 2. A lot of people are excited. I am excited. I do have my gripes with some of the stuff that was announced next week. We will be talking about some of it. But it's not all gone according to plan. And some of it is not actually Nintendo's fault. So we'll be talking about some of that as well. But let's crack on with our first game of the night. And I did say we wanted to talk about this game because it's entered early access. I know lots of people have been playing it and people have been comparing it to The Sims, etc. But this came out on Friday, the 28th of March on PC in early access. And we're going to play the trailer for what everyone is calling possibly the most realistic life simulator of all time. And this is Inzoi. There you go. That's Inzoi. And Kindred said, it's not realistic. There's no crippling anxiety, no debt, and they go out and touch grass. Who does that these days?
I like that it started off as like a Grand Theft Auto trailer, and then it became like Grand Theft Auto for mobile.
Yeah.
It just looks so downgraded.
It was bizarre. It was so odd. And people were saying that this is like so realistic and it's very sort of GTA inspired in a way. But then with The Sims, Dave, tell us more, because this is gonna. I can see people sinking their lives into this, let alone, you know.
Oh, they will do, won't they? Because I mean, The Sims hasn't really had a proper competitor in that genre for quite a long time. There's been a couple of games that were in development that got canned off.
Yes.
So this is like the only sort of competitor in town at the moment. And it'd be good to see EA have a bit of a competition in that area. Might make them actually do something a bit more with the Sims instead of just releasing like endless content packs over and over again, just get more money out of people. But I mean, who knows? Inzoi could end up doing the same thing as it goes on, because it is in early access at the moment. So it's not even complete. It's going to have some missing features, going to have some bugs that are going to get fixed along the way. It does look nice. I mean, I know what we're saying about the graphics, but they are a definite step up from what we see in The Sims. But of course, the problem going for the really sort of realistic graphics is they don't necessarily age that well compared to other games that have a more sort of cartoony art style. Admittedly, like The Sims, that can go on for years and it doesn't really look like it's aged that much. Whereas this one, in a few years, could end up looking a little bit dated with these realistic graphics. Depends what they do with it in the long run. But it certainly looks nice. It's just another life sim, just create your Inzoi family, create the homes they live in, and just kind of let them go and interact with each other and see what happens. There'll be like romance and weddings and pregnancies and stuff like that. Looks all right. Not my sort of thing. I got bored of the Sims one decades ago, so I can't start be rushing out to play this one. But yeah, I can see there'll be a huge market for it.
I know we've got. I know Tigress X, who was a guest on our show last year, who's the big VR streamer who normally does just VR, has just got sucked into this, and she's loving this, and she's been playing this like since it come out, and it's like it's mad because she's doing a VR streams and then she's doing this as well. So she's kind of loving it. So I can see some people just going for this big time. Sophie says people have been draining their lives into it. They must have been playing it from early access, but this is early access. So yeah. Also, I heard it's AI generated. She says toddlers stand in shock when you have sex, and the people just carry on, whereas Sims they stop. I mean, that sounds quite funny. That'd be quite funny. iCloud says not my thing. I play games to get away from real life, not do more pointless versions of it. Greg, your thoughts on this?
I hate when random toddlers just stop and watch people have sex. It's really off-putting. Yeah. No, I think Dave's right. Like he did, like you said, with the realistic graphics can come back and bite you because like Sims is timeless. You can always tell whichever version of Sims it is. They will look like a time capsule, but they are identifiable, and you can tell going forward that a Sims game will always be a Sims game. Whereas if it's AI generated and trying to be realistic, yeah, it could, in theory, age badly. Like ironically enough, if they're trying to look realistic. But he's right. Like EA do need someone on the field to challenge them and stop them from releasing like untold packs of DLC and that kind of thing, where it just looks like the only thing in the market is Sims and everyone's getting bored of it. It's time for something to come in, but hopefully not overdo it to the point where it tries to oversell it. Back in the days of like Killzone being a Halo beta, that kind of thing, doesn't want to oversell it too much to fall on its face, like the hubris kind of thing. Is it going to realistically compete with Sims? Well, this is it. This is the whole point of early access, isn't it? Is to get
see if it can work.
To see if it can do it. Yeah, everyone goes, oh, we need something new, and then when they bring it out, and if people don't support it, they go, yeah, but I prefer the Sims, and that's that cycle, isn't it? People try, and people complain that there's not enough in early access, or it doesn't do very well in early access to get that traction. Then people just go back to what they know and will still moan about. I mean, I don't personally play Sims; it's not my kind of game, but people will still moan about the lack of change and still buy content for stuff that we all hate, or fueling the EA machine. But you've just bought a $9.99 Halloween pack for it. Well, there's no other option. Well, there would have been if you supported this
other game. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, GTA Online is terrible. Well, how much have you spent on shark cards? That's not the point. Well, no, it is. Yeah.
Some people have gone, as Sophie says, some people have gone from Sims to this. Well, I think they're just waiting for the next thing. But then you can imagine EA going, all right, well, now we'll start doing Sims 6.
Oh, should we start putting out free DLC? No.
That's a silly idea.
No.
EA will never do that. Bloody hell.
It's that meme with everyone sat at the table. How about we just do free DLC? No, out the window.
It'll never happen. It never.
Why don't we just do a free anniversary edition? You mean re-release it? No, for free.
Yeah. You're like, no. We'll put a charge on it. There you go. Right. So you may have seen some scores popping up in chat. We don't actually review the games, But we do scour the internet to get a load of scores, and then we condense those scores into an average score. And this is a bit of fun. So don't take it too seriously, because you might agree with the scores that we announce. You might not. So just take it with a pinch of salt. But if you do guess the score correctly, we will give you a shout out in the chat. Now, neither Greg or Dave know the scores that I've gathered up over the course of the week and put into an average. So it's going to be a bit of fun for chat and a bit of fun for you guys. And the more times you get it right, the more shout outs you get. Diva, good evening. Hello, she's here. Hello. Lovely to have you here. It's all a lie. Dave knows the scores. He cheats. Honestly, he doesn't, because he doesn't always get it right every week. He needs it. He hasn't had a good. Well, he had quite a good run last week. He's got to get back on track.
It's hit and miss.
It's hit and miss. It is hit and miss. So let's have a look. People putting scores. Danker's saying a 7.5 for this. Dave Johnson said it looks good, but the trailer was too long. 7.5 fingers out of guns.
Oh, I see what you did there. Well done.
Yeah, clever.
Very topical. Well done.
Yeah. 7.5 from
the amount of
Gozo.
the amount of times I just tell Dave off because he keeps making puns all the time. He came to visit, and every other word out of his mouth was a pun. I'm just like, oh, God.
That's how his brain works. Iqual says a 6, maybe. So it'd be good. Flame saying 6.5. Dave, I'll start with you. What do you reckon this got?
I'm going to try a 7.5 since it's an early access. I think that might hold it back from higher scores.
Okay, 7.5. Jenny says 7 chocolate fingers. Not sure where the chocolate fingers reference comes from, unless she's having with a cup of tea, which is perfectly fine. Diva says, I don't know what I miss, or just say an 8. That's fine. You might get it right. You don't know. Kindred, 7.5. Greg, what do you reckon?
I'm going to go with a cautious 6. I think it's got potential, but it's not fair. Well, I always find giving scores to early access a bit unfair because it's a work in progress. But I want to give it an optimistic 6 because it's got potential if it sticks to what it does and doesn't shit the bed before it gets released.
Yeah, that seems good. Everyone's now talking about food. Chocolate fingers. I'm munching on donuts. I'm now hungry. There we go. All right, folks. Last chance. This is Inzoi in early access, which came out on PC on March the 28th. And custard jam. Oh my God, everyone, custard or jam. Sorry, I was like, custard jam? What? There you go. Sophie went to Cosmos, which is a all-you-can-eat buffet. So she wants you to know that. The people are just going to randomly put what they've had for dinner now. This is what happens in this show. This is your last chance to get any scores in for PC on Friday the 28th of March for Inzoi in early access. And if no one else is going to say anything, then I can tell you that for early access, it did all right. But obviously, there's a lot of work to be done because this did get exactly what Greg said, because this got a 6 out of 10. Ooh. There you go, on average. Get that. So we get a shout out for Greg. Well done. You got your first one right.
Yeah, I can leave now.
You're done. That's it. Dave has to stay here. iQuail, congratulations. You got it right as well. We'll get a shout out for iQuail. Also, can we get a shout out for Jenny? She didn't get it right, but she is our community member of the month, so she gets a shout out anyway on every show for this month. Jenny, thank you for being an excellent community member. We appreciate it. And enjoy your chocolate fingers. So there you go. Let's talk about a little bit of news. Now, obviously, this time last week, we were doing the show. We were talking about potential April Fool's things. And there was that one April Fool thing, which started as an April Fool thing, but then actually turned into something. And this is to do with Marvel Rivals. So Marvel Rivals were basically saying, we're going to give away a free emote in the game. And it's basically Venom twerking his ass off.
I didn't realize that was a thing. I'd heard about that. I didn't realize that was a thing.
Yeah. And they were basically promoted it. And everyone was like, oh, this is an April Fool, isn't it? But actually, it wasn't, because you could actually download it on April Fools. And then people were just all playing as Venom, and you'd have a whole group of Venoms, and there's videos of it. Go and look it up. Just them twerking when they're supposed to be playing the game or claiming the area or whatever. There's just like 12 Venoms twerking. Well, it's so popular. They've announced that they are keeping the emote, and you can get a free emote to make Venom twerk, and it's staying in the game potentially not just for this season, but permanently. It's not an April Fool anymore. It went down so well. It's a thing, and I thought this was bizarre. So it's kind of one of those things where you go, oh, it's where an April Fool goes wrong. But It isn't really, because it kind of became a bit of a bizarre phenomenon, and loads of people were putting TikToks and stuff about it. And yeah, so now you can twerk as Venom, and it looks absolutely obscene and weird. I've watched the video, and I'm not going to play it on here because you lot will have nightmares. But it's quite funny. So do go search it. I mean, what do we think to this, guys? And chat, let me know.
Yeah, if it works, it works. If people like it, you might as well keep these things in. I mean, at the end of the day as well, if it gets up on TikTok, there's more eyes on it, isn't it? Get more people to come in and actually play the game. So yeah, works well for NetEase, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Why not?
It,
Can't say I want to see Venom twerking. Doesn't say. So,
yeah, it doesn't seem
nice.
right. As much as I didn't want to see Venom ballroom dancing in that last god awful film they did, so you know, it's.
I haven't seen it. Is it that
Never
bad?
watched them. They look terrible.
I wouldn't say it's awful. I thought it was better than the second one, but there's a really bizarre scene where it's like
Mrs. Cheng.
Yeah, doing a Fred Astaire thing.
Right. Yeah.
I'm just like, yeah. Anyway, yeah. There you go. I missed this. I can't decide if I want to see it or avoid it like the plague. Well, I'm leaving the option to you, wonderful people. He's watched the video 100 times purely for research. Yes. Research.
It's just like a lava lamp. It just keeps going up.
Yeah, it is. That's all. There you go. Anyway, thought we'd start off with a funny story because there's some more miserable shit coming later. So there you go. Phantom zoned out. I'm not surprised what was zoned out watching Venom's butt. There you go. Let's move on to our second game of the night. This came out on Tuesday the 1st on PS5 and PC. And no, this was not a April Fool either. This is a wonderful game from the wonderful people at Don't Nod. This is a Koira. There you go, folks. That is Koira, which came out last Tuesday on PlayStation 5 and PC. And annoyingly, I got sent an email about this, and I think I accidentally deleted it because I could have got a copy of the game. And it really annoys me now. I'm going to have to see if I can somehow get that email back because I do want to try this.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I quite like the look of it. A game I wasn't aware of at all. Hadn't heard of it, hadn't seen anything of it. And so I had a quick look at it earlier. But yeah, it looks pretty cool. Your character's journeyed into a forest where I believe they've rescued the little dog that's with him in the trailer, and you now got to sort of find your way out. So you got to solve puzzles, do a bit of stealth, trying to avoid those hunters and their attack dogs to get out of this forest. Certainly looks pretty cool though. The art style, like Dave said, is pretty cool. So first sort of simple style to it. It kind of reminds me in a way of Limbo, just black and white and the greys to it.
Yeah,
really sort of cool art style. It's definitely the sort of thing I'd definitely give a go. Looks pretty cool, doesn't
it? Greg, your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I mean, to agree with Dave, I generally, when I first saw the trailer, because we just reviewed it on Fingerguns.net, which sounds like a shameless plug. I haven't reviewed it, but it's on there. When I first saw the trailer, because I keep getting Playdead and Don't Nod confused, I thought my first thought was it was the Limbo studio, and it's not. That's Playdead. Obviously, Don't Nod is Remember Me and Life is Strange and all that.
Yeah.
So they're used to that, especially with the soundtrack as well. It's got that I've just played Remember Me recently last year, and it's got that choral sort of soundtrack to it. And I thought, this is their market. No, it does look quite twee and quite nice, but also with an element of not quite survival horror to it, but like survival in a tense situation, which I thought looked quite nice. And I think I haven't read Miles's full review, but he seems to be speaking quite positively of it.
Okay, all right. Chat seem to be liking it, liking the art style and everything. So, folks, start getting your scores in for this one. So this is Koira, which came out on Tuesday the 1st last week on PS5 and PC. And some scores coming in straight away there. Jenny saying this reckons this could be a 9. Diva's saying an 8.5. Mr. Johnson is saying a 7.5. Chaotic, hello. She says, hello from Wales, you wonderful beings. Hello. Hello, hope you're doing well. Enjoying your time in Wales. Danker says an 8.5. Greg, I'll start with you on this one. What do you reckon this got?
I can't remember what Miles gave it. I want to say an 8. I want to say a positive 8. I think it looked quite twee and quite nice. Like that sort of not casual, but an accessible spooky game kind of thing. I want to say it scored quite well.
Okay, going for an 8. Danker saying an 8.5. Flame says a 7. Phantom says 8.5. Gozzo says 8.5. iQuell says 8. There you go. Dave says, gas, Greg is trying to cheat. Fine him. I can't fine him. There's no payment system in place.
Greg doesn't read reviews that aren't his own. I'm not cheating. I just can't be bothered.
Yeah, you just can't be bothered to read them.
No, exactly.
There you go. And now Jenny's
I'm not the editor.
Yeah. Jenny's now telling Dave off in chat. You know when she calls him David, it's serious.
David.
Oh, yeah, he's in trouble.
David, behave. Listen to the community month, a member of the month, David. Yes.
For prior context, anyone that has just joined recently, I do know Dave in real life. It's not like he's just picking on the guest.
Yeah. I mean, he does that to every guest anyway.
I know. I've muted him out. I don't take anything he says personally or even pay attention to it.
Yeah. It's pretty much like real life. Yeah. He sent me a text earlier, and my reply was just a load of dots because I just couldn't be asked.
I leave him on red.
Yeah. There you go. He says, I regret nothing. There you go. Dave, what say you?
I'll try an 8.5 for this one.
8.5. Okay, going high. There's quite a few people saying 8.5. All right. Last chance, folks. This is Koira, which came out last Tuesday, April the 1st on PS5 and PC. And if there are no more scores in chat, I can tell you that this did, in fact, get an 8.5. So it got a great score, really good score, this one, which is really cool. So a lot of people got that right. So obviously in the chats, Gozzo, congratulations. Phantom, congratulations. Danker, congratulations. Diva, congratulations. You got it right as well. There's 4 of you got it right. Well done. Well done. Get those shouts. And of course, Dave got it right, but Dave doesn't stream. So we have to give Dave in a different shout out. And Dave, how would you like that shout out? Don't forget, chat, you can do exclamation Dave in the chat.
You can go behind your chair and jump up. You haven't done that.
Right, watch my knees fuck up. Right,
yep.
Okay, here we go. They did crack. Yeah, both of them simultaneously. Right, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Dave! God fucking hell. Right.
One of these days you aren't going to make it back up.
Sometimes no, and I'll present like this. I'll just be like this.
Oh, mine. This is quite nice. This is quite actually cathartic because my knees are shot as well. My knees when I squat down, it sounds like loofahs, like dry baguettes, just going.
Baguette legs. Right.
Dry loofahs, just.
Oh man. Okay, there you go, folks. Congratulations to everyone who got it right. Well done, Dave, as well, for getting that right. Let's move on to some more news. Now, you'd think we'd be talking about all the games that are announced at the Switch 2 showcase. Well, we can't be asked. But one of the things that did happen, which seems to be driving people mad, is, and I'm going to put this question out now. I know Greg and Dave kind of know. I'll put what we're going to talk about. But Greg and Dave know what I'm going to talk about, but the chat don't know. So, what do you think was the most hyped game, chat, that was from the 1 hour showcase? Like, do you think it was all the fucking remakes, as Kindred said? Do we think it was the fact that Cyberpunk's coming to it? Do you know what you think it was the new Mario Kart, the new Donkey Kong? Halo Master Chief Collection for Switch 2. Stuff that, like Dave just said, that wasn't announced. Actually, no, it's a game that a lot of people have been waiting since 2019 for, which is Hollow Knight Silksong. We have literally not heard anything about it. And every gaming showcase that has been online, there's always some fuckers putting Hollow Knight Silksong, Hollow Knight Silksong, Silksong, and just spamming the chat. And it actually happened. They actually showed some of the gameplay. Obviously, it was first announced at E3 2019. And now we know, we haven't got an exact date, but it is coming to Nintendo Switch 2 and PC and Xbox and PlayStation. And it's literally going to be landing at some point this year. Literally, people have been absolutely hyped for this game, insanely hyped. And originally it was
insufferably so.
Yeah. And originally they were stating that, you know, they wanted to as a DLC for the original Hollow Knight. But then it became something much bigger. So now it's become a bigger game. So there you go. We don't know when, but that was it. And that was actually the most hyped thing, believe it or not, than anything else. So a game that wasn't actually made by Nintendo was the most hyped thing at the Nintendo showcase. There you go. Gozzo says, I'm really hyped for Soul Calibur 2. There was some good stuff, but I just can't be asked it because everyone's been talking about it. I feel like, you know, it's 4 days ago, old news. So we'll move on.
Is that Soul Calibur going to be on the GameCube on the Switch? Is that going to be...
Or it's like the GameCube.
Yeah.
Okay. Woo!
I wonder if they put Wind Waker on there. I bet they won't.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, Wind Waker's on the
actually?
GameCube.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's the original GameCube version. It's
Yeah.
a bit of a shame because they did do a proper, you know...
HD port, yeah.
Yeah.
The HD port. It's a shame
But that was only on the
bringing
Wii
that
U,
one
wasn't
forward.
it?
Yeah, they could do putting that forward onto the Switch there.
Yeah. So you can play it on the GameCube thing, but then not like a...
I mean, I haven't seen the full rundown of games. I know I'm not very good as a journalist. I don't read anything, really. I'm one of those fake ones. What about Twilight Princess, the GameCube version?
Yeah, someone's asking, yeah.
Probably at some point, but not
yeah,
yet.
there we go. When are they remaking? Yeah.
Because they announced like 3 games properly for the game.
Yeah.
At the moment. The other one was the F-Zero GX. There's more.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, nice.
They'll just be drip feeding it out over
I thought it was
the...
going to be something really, really
next
pointless,
months
like
and years.
Wave Race Blue Storm or something.
There you
It'll
go.
probably come eventually.
Or Gold, the James Bond All or Nothing, whatever it was called.
Oh, my God, yeah. Those guys as well. New Donkey Kong game and Mario Kart Worlds. We'll talk about those in a bit. Only downside is I can't buy the new retro GameCube controller unless you buy your Switch 2 from Nintendo Direct. Yeah, we found that out. That was a bit crap, but they didn't actually explain that too well. And also, Nintendo Direct, if you wanted pre-orders, you had to have an account and have it active for over 2 years and had to have logged 50 hours of gameplay to be able to actually put
It's
order
just like
one.
a weird snooty elitist club, isn't it? Do you
Yeah,
want
it
one?
was.
Yeah. Well, when was the last time you played your Switch? Not in the last 2 years. Out.
Yeah, it's nuts. I also think that's how they judged how people went to the showcase that's this weekend at XL. Because I have played my Switch a lot, even this year, but I haven't actually been online with it for like maybe a year and a half or more because I don't use any of the online
I
stuff.
played one game of F-Zero online on it in
Right.
the last year. I still paid $3.99 a month for it, but just I played one game of F-Zero and that's it.
That's
And
it.
I played the occasional SNES game on it because it has to be online to update, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, to do the thing, but there you go. But we'll talk about the actual console and its stuff a little bit later on the show. Let's move on to our next game, folks. This came out Wednesday last week on PC, and another bizarre title. This is called Elroy and the Aliens.
Ew. Sweaty boxers. I am definitely not touching those.
Maybe we should just take care of him right here, huh?
Okay. I guess I am touching them.
The blood moon gets its name from the reddish glow cast onto the moon by the sunlight refracted in Earth's atmosphere.
We found a message from my dad.
Hello, son. You must be wondering where I am.
The Hani Pentagon is a myth.
But what if he actually found it?
Bree.
Cataloth are giant, majestic creatures.
You're a Falaraki Furshawooters?
Good day, Earthlings. Have you seen my glasses?
Aliens. I want to paint aliens. And if it takes 1,000 years, I shall be ready. Possible, yes, but forbidden and dangerous.
Why do people always imagine space aliens as green monsters?
That's a good question. Can you answer that one, Dave, or can you tell us more about this game?
I can tell you more about the game.
That'll do for me.
Yeah, this is an old style point and click game. So in this particular one, your character Elroy, his father disappeared a number of years ago, and if you saw in the trailer, they find some message from him that then sends them off on a intergalactic journey to try and find him and solve some of the other mysteries. Looks all right for what it is, nice sort of cartoony art style. And it's nice to see the point and click games are still going, because I did used to love these when I was young.
Yeah.
Fan of the old LucasArts one, so good to see people are still making them. This one looks like it might be pretty decent fun.
Yeah. Okay. Greg, your thoughts?
I'm not a massive fan of modern point and click games. I don't mind them. I played like the Sam & Max ones that came out, and then there was one called From Matryoshka with Love. It was like a from behind the irony curtain. It was trying to be like Monkey Island sort of esque humor. But we got this one offered to us, and we've got a sort of saying when we get offered games like this. We call them limes. There's that meme of the guy holding all the limes, like, oh, there's too many games, that kind of thing. If we get sort of dropped in games that just look a bit naff, we call them limes. And no one really wanted this one. Not to say it doesn't have its charm, but I think everyone kind of went, I don't really fancy a point and click at the moment. It looked, I'm speaking for myself, not the comments that are saying it looks quite cute. I thought it looked a bit naff, but then it could be small budget, it could be hand-drawn style, small development time, all that kind of thing. Looks like a knockoff Futurama game. It's not for me, but I can see what has the chance. It's not something I would personally play, but I hope it does well enough to get that support behind it. It looked cute. It looked like it was doing all the tick boxes for fourth wall breaking, sort of tin, what's the word? Deadpan delivery, that kind of thing. But I hope it has its charm that finds the audience. I mean, it's not particularly for me, but I hope it does find its audience.
Okay.
Like Dave said, he used to play the old Lucasfilm games, and it definitely is reminiscent of that. If not homage, then in a style of.
Yeah. Apparently, it's £14.40 on PC. In Steam. That's not bad. That's not bad at all.
It's pretty good for a point and click. They're normally quite lengthy games as well. So you get your
money's worth.
Decent time out of that.
Yeah. Folks, get your scores in now. What do you think this got? This is Elroy and the Aliens, which came out on PC last Wednesday. We have already got some scores in the chat. Both Danka and Gozzo both said 8.5. Dave says a 7. Dave, I'll start with you this time. What do you reckon?
I'm going to go with 8.
We're going for an 8 for this one. Okay. Greg, your thoughts on this one?
In one of those rare moments that I agree with Mr. Johnson, I'm going to go for a 7 as well.
Okay, going for a 7 out of 10. Flame is also saying a 7 out of 10. Ems, good evening. Great to see you. Hope you're well. iQual is saying an 8. Kindred says an 8. Dave grumbles at your comment. Ems is saying an 8. She's doing the thing where, again, didn't know what game we're talking about, but that's absolutely fine. Jenny's saying a 7. So we got lots of 7s, lots of 8s. Seems to be a thing. Last chance, folks. This is Elroy and the Aliens, which came out last Wednesday on PC. 8 hours it takes to play to beat. Apparently, it's an 8-hour game. Still kind of worth 14 quid. That's not bad.
That's not bad for that price.
There you go. I can tell you.
It's a weird metric for gamers, though, isn't it? That we rate them in time to complete.
Yeah.
That's just showing our age now, isn't it?
That is starting to annoy me, because I know there was games that I bought that I could never finish because there was never any end to them, and I would have never judged them on that. But now I do, and it's really annoying.
Well,
like I said earlier, I want to play. Yeah,
like 90 plus hours. Oh, it's the longest one. Oh, no, I bet not.
Yeah, it's like I can't. Like I've just gone. Oh, I'm going to play Atomfall and finish that first, and then South of Midnight, because I know it's a 15-hour game, a 12-hour game, rather than 40 hours
rather than
Creed Shadows.
Yeah. Do you want to do 60-hour game? No, but you want to do 3 15-minute games? Yeah, 15-hour games. Yeah, go on then. Yeah.
During with the Dying Light 2 devs tweeted that to see everything in the game is like 500 hours, and everyone's like, "The fuck? Why is it that long?"
Do you want to unlock everything in Star Wars Battlefront 2? Yeah, 800 hours. Oh no, you're all right.
Yeah, no, you can, I can go get another life. Yeah, it's crazy. Right, I can tell you, folks. This did really well as well, actually. This did get as well, just like the last game, 8.5 on average. So you go. If you like your point and click adventures, definitely want to go try out. Even though I didn't even hear about it until literally writing the show. Started writing the show earlier this week. Crazy, isn't it? So there you go. Sometimes these games just come out there. Well done, Gozzo. Well done, Danker. Jenny's like, oh wow. Yeah. Dave's like, what? There you go. Crazy.
Yeah, even I kind of went like a little golf clap, like, well done.
Well done. Don't really give a shit about you, but well done. There it is. There you go.
Golf happens for other people.
It does, yeah. Look. They've made a good game. That's all that matters. Go play it if you like that sort of thing.
It's like journalism. Yeah, go and play it. Yeah, all right.
Now we're moving on to the first of 3 Nintendo stories that we're going to talk about. And we're going to talk about not necessarily the things you think we were going to talk about with the Nintendo Switch 2 launch and stuff. This is an interesting one because one of the things that people were quite shocked about was not just generally the cost of the console, because it was higher than people were guessing. I didn't think it was too, with inflation, I didn't think it was too reasonably priced. Over here, without a game, it was like, what, 395, was it? 395 and 435. 435 with Mario Kart.
429.
429 for the Mario Kart bundle, yeah.
Which is, I thought was quite good, because you're basically getting a Switch game for about, less than 50 quid.
Retail price there, yeah.
Yeah, which is pretty good considering most of their games on the normal Switch can be like 50 quid upwards sometimes. But where this has kind of gone a bit crazy is the fact that if you want to buy the game separately, it's about 75 quid over here and about $80 in America, making it one of the most expensive Nintendo games, or actually one of the most expensive games in a long time, especially in the last decade, in the last 10 years. And people are now worried because this has got a lot of backlash, because Mario Kart World looks great. I'm not going to lie. I think it looks great. I reckon I'll have a lot of fun with it. But people are saying, if this is going to be the new settlement, because I think even the new Donkey Kong game is only about £5 cheaper than that when it comes out. So that's going to be about 70 quid, 65 quid at a push. That seems expensive. And people are now worried that, there was these talks earlier in the year of, is GTA 6 going to be the £100 game? And they're like, this actually could set the standard for how games are going to be. Because if this is what the new range of consoles are coming in at, is this going to set the precedent now? I want your thoughts on this, gentlemen.
I hope not. I mean, I think Nintendo did say that their price is going to be variable, so they're not like set on £75 like every new game.
It's just going to go up.
Yeah. Yeah. The next Zelda will be 150, something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it does feel like gaming is getting to be a very expensive hobby, doesn't it? Because everything went up to like 70 quid for the new releases, and now this is like hitting 75 for Mario Kart. Of course, I'm talking about GTA 6 could hit 100. I mean, but the other thing to think about, the number of companies who release, the sort of deluxe or gold or whatever they call the editions for like 100 quid at the moment, just for like the 3-day early access. A number of people do go and buy those because they want to they want to play them early. So there's a number of people spending that much already. But I don't think I'd really feel comfortable spending like £100 on like a single game to play on day one. It just seems just too much. Yeah, even for something like there's been hype for donkey's years like GTA 6, £100 just seems like far too much to spend like a single game. But it just keeps edging up and up, doesn't it? I know these things aren't getting any cheaper to make. They require more people to make them and more time. So these companies have got to recoup their money. But I don't know. It just feels like at some point it's going to start pricing some people out. End up having to wait for these things to go second hand and be a bit cheaper. A year or two later.
Do you know what? It's funny because going back quite a few years ago, it got a point where I never used to buy a new game because it was getting when the prices were hiking up again. So I just bought everything second hand, or and then sort of came back. Game Pass come around and PS Plus came around. And it was like, it's easy to get games. But then in the last couple of years, I have found game prices have dropped. And there's been a lot of cool games, things like 2 Point Museum, which was like literally 30 quid, which came out a month ago, and Split Fiction, which was like 30 quid. So we've had some really good games this year that are like really reasonable in price. So I've been buying more games like day one, but then you kind of go, you see this, and I'm thinking, fuck, I'm going to wait for secondhand games again, because it's just kind of putting me off a little bit.
Hopefully we'll get a decent deal secondhand. Although, as Dave does mention in the chat, a lot of the Nintendo stuff doesn't really go down, especially like digitally on their eShop.
It's that Nintendo tax, isn't it?
Yeah.
And also, where is there really a secondhand market now outside of the CEX being the obvious one with their prices, but obviously Game have pretty much shuttered all their secondhand stock, and stores have been shuttered anyway.
Literally talking eBay.
Yeah, that's it. Really.
And maybe Amazon.
And then it's supply and demand, isn't it? It's
exactly.
People know you want it second hand, they'll go, well, I'll charge 10 quid less than the new price.
Yeah.
I do wonder if it's also just. I mean, there's this big physical versus digital debate, that kind of thing. I do wonder if now they're pricing up physical and then putting digital not very far to match it, not very far behind it, to make people go, well, it's only a $5 or less on digital, I might just download it. Or like, as in trying to outprice physical, so people then rely on digital more.
Yeah.
I mean, my sort of parallel at the moment, I've just got a PS5 Pro. I upgraded the other day, and I forgot because I got it with my phone contract, and I was all hyped about it, and I forgot last year when they announced it was no disk drive. So I ordered it, and I was like, yes, and then I forgot. Oh crap, I need a disk drive, don't I? And the amount of faff I've had trying to get one that turned up today, I don't know. It's over there, by the way. That's why I'm pointing. This just made me realize that it's this whole push to make people try and go towards digital. Are they trying to outprice physical games or make digital more? Because digital seems that there's the other debate of that is people say, well, why is digital so expensive? If physical is 70 and it's the packaging, you don't even get manuals anymore. It's just the packaging and the deluxe editions. Why is digital 60? Why is it not 40, like 50, that kind of thing? Why is it not too far behind it? I'm beginning to wonder if they are starting to outprice or, hike up the price of physical, and digital will match it. So people will just go, well, I'll just take that one then. It's the same price. I don't have to wait for it to turn up in the post.
Yeah. I mean, Kindred,
and it will kill the physical secondhand market as well, which is, it's a weird conspiracy theory to follow. I mean, I like actually having physical games to own. Yeah, all right. Some of them are just DRM for downloads, but
totally,
it's beginning to sort of go that way that we don't want it to. But then, in the same way that like 4K Blu-ray is not selling very well, and are people buying films now? They're streaming services and things like Game Pass. I have Game Pass and I have PS Plus Premium, but I still like buying the games. And then if they're on there a month later, I go, sunk cost fallacy. I bought the physical, but at least I own it then, don't I? So
I think that's the thing. I like to own the actual physical game, so it's
I mean, besides there, I've got like 350 vinyl records, so I know. So I talk about wasting money.
I think some people like the convenience of digital, though, don't they? You just subscribe to a streaming service. Yeah. All the stuff's there. I haven't even got to get off the settee, get off my ass to go and change the disc. It's all just there, ready. Download it, install it. Off you go.
Yep.
But you're not always getting the best quality stuff, though, are you? Especially if you're talking about like streams, you can get better quality buying on a disc. But
at least if the internet goes down or they take something off the streaming service, you still own that film. You still own the game. Sometimes the old ones may not have support anymore, but you would have hopefully had that installed previously, that you've got the specs to run it.
Yeah, there you go. Of course, says I'm more attracted to the indie games these days. Tend to be a bit cheaper, so I'm more inclined to take a risk on a quirky game. Most AAA games have. So homogenized these days that I want more stuff like Astrobot or the 3D Mario to balance things out. I show you, there's been a lot of AAA games that come out last year that were a massive disappointment. And there was a lot of
just risk averse, aren't they? They're getting more in AAA.
Yeah.
Very dull.
I did like this Dave Johnson put new Zelda DLC for Mario Kart World. It's going to be 65 quid for free skins, a new track, and a middle finger emote. Thought that'd be quite good. But yeah,
true.
We'll talk more Nintendo Switch and prices and price hikes and something that not even Nintendo were expecting a little bit later on. But let's move on to our next game. And this is a remaster of a classic game. This came out last Wednesday. This is on PS4, 5, and we're getting a raid, just as I said that. Hello, CO. How you doing? Welcome on in. How you doing, buddy? Oh, thank you so much for the raid. Can we get a shout out for CO, please? There you go. Awesome. Thank you so much. You're playing some Destiny 2. How was your stream, CO? Good to see you. I know you're a big Destiny fan. So there you go. Thank you so much for being here. For those who've just joined in the raid, I am Middle-Aged Gamer Guy. This is the co-host who knows most, Dave. And our guest tonight is Greg from Fingerguns.net, a gaming journalist. And we are talking about all the new games that are coming out over the last 7 days or so. We've already talked about Inzoi, but we are still going to be talking about The Last of Us Part 2 Remaster on PC and the brand new game that came out today, South of Midnight. But before we do that, it's good. Love a bit of Destiny. There you go. Love a bit of Destiny. It's good to hear. There you go. Not from Greg's. No, it is Greg. There you go. Not Greg from Greg's. Yeah. So this was saying this came out last Wednesday on PS4, 5, Xbox Series X, S1, PC, and Switch. And we are going well retro because this, ladies and gentlemen, is Croc, Legend of the Gobbos, remastered. Let's have a look. There you go. So we got a remaster of Croc, Legend of the Gobbos, which literally out on everything as of last Wednesday. Dave, tell us a little bit more about this one, please.
Yeah, I believe it's been almost 30 years since it originally came out. I got to be honest, I don't even remember this game at all. So when you put this on the list, I was like, this doesn't ring any bells. Got no nostalgia for this one. Must have missed it on whatever platforms it was on back in the day.
I never played this.
No, but it's obviously got a reasonable cult following, so being brought back all these years later. So this is just sort of classic style 3D platformers. So Croc's going through these worlds trying to rescue his adoptive family, the Gobbos from Baron Dante, who's kidnapped them, and as well as trying to rescue them, there's going to be all sorts of collectibles to try and find in each levels, like they always tend to put in these games way back when. So you got all those things to find as well. Looks nice enough. Looks like they've sort of kept the graphics, reasonably sort of old school, just like up the sort of textures and resolutions to make it look a bit sharper for today's audiences, and improved controls, made it a bit more of a modern control scheme, improved the way the camera works. There's still some classic like video modes in there to make it look a bit more retro, probably make it look like it's on a CRT screen and stuff like that. I think the one thing that sounds quite cool is what it showed towards the end of the trailer, the Crocopedia. So they'd gone back to like the original team members from Argonaut Games who made it, to get them to sort of delve back into their systems to try and find lots of stuff they could put like a museum in this game. So you got lots of like level designs and concept art and music tracks and stuff like that. There's lots of stuff of the history of the game, the making of the game, which sounds quite cool.
Okay, that's cool.
Quite good fun to look through. But yeah, I haven't got any nostalgia for Croc, so it's not one for me.
Yeah.
But, for any of the people who really liked it way back when, nice fresh version for you to play through.
No, that's fair. Gozzo just said that Matt Porter, the game dev, is going to be one of the guests at Knott's VGE this year, which is cool. But I'm like you, I never played any games, so I've not actually got any nostalgia for this, unfortunately. What about you, Greg?
No, I think we're on the same boat here. I think I must have played it briefly or played a demo of it. I genuinely must have repressed how annoying it was, him saying Yazoo every time. It's like they wanted to one-up Mario by making the most annoying sound, because within about 4 times we've been doing it in that trailer, I was like, oh god, why couldn't we get a Gex remake instead?
I know.
Or Jersey Devil or something. I was going to say Medieval then, but they did that and it didn't score very well.
Yeah. There you go. Lebraze, hello. I am late, but need to wash my hair. In my little screen, I read the guest names as Finger Gourmet.
Oh, we're back on food again now.
Yeah, we are. Hello, Lebraze. Good to see you. I hope you're well. Right, get your scores in, folks. Let's see what you've seen. There's a couple of people already got scores in. Kindred said if Pocket Locket was... Oh, she's not here tonight, is she? She would give this a 10 out of 10. I could say that. Chaotic, I would think Chaotic would give this a 10 out of 10 as well. I know she's all the way over in Wales, probably watching us there. Dave Johnson says, I have no real nostalgia for Croc, so no idea how beloved it was or wasn't. 7.5. Danker saying a 7. Gozzo saying a 7. M saying an 8. CO saying a 7. I saw half of the trailer, 7.5. Icon says Gex Trilogy is getting ported later this year. Oh, there you go. Cool. There you go. Dreams do come true. There you go. Flame says an 8. I'll start with you, Greg. What do you reckon this got?
I reckon, because nostalgia is a powerful thing, I reckon it's going to score. I reckon it scored an 8. I think people who have played it would be excited for this.
Okay.
I know it did sell well enough to do platinum, like back in the day. You always see everyone had a copy of Croc.
Yeah.
And it was always in every second ad. When I used to work in Game Station, we used to have loads of them, because it was always a game everyone had when the PlayStation first came out, and then it was always traded in. I reckon that Nostalgia's done this one and probably given it a good score, like an 8.
Okay, going for an 8. Dave, what say you?
I'll try a 7.5.
Go for a 7.5. Jenny's saying the same thing as you. 7.5. There you go. Folks, this is your last chance. Get your scores in chat. If you guess correctly, you will get a shout out in the chat. This is Croc, Legend of the Gobbos Remastered, which came out last Wednesday on PS4, 5, Xbox Series X, S1, PC, and Switch. Kindred says 7.5. And I can tell you that this got a perfectly decent 7 out of 10. So there you go. So a lot of people were very, very close there. CO, who raided us, congratulations, you got it right. Well done. So you get a shout out. Gozzo, well done. Danker, well done. You got it right as well. Congratulations. I think that was everyone who said 7.
So I think I got my first one right, and I've cashed out now.
Yeah.
It's all misses now.
Don't worry. You still got 4 more to go. You might just do it. You might be all right. We'll see. There you go. Before we move on to anything else, folks, I've got to do the usual plug, because it wouldn't be the show without doing this. Folks, if you don't know what Timeless Gaming Convention is, press exclamation Timeless in the chat, and we have to show you this because we're plugging the shit out of this, and we've got lots of stuff to tell you next week. There's lots of big reveals, so here goes. Hi, I'm Middle-Aged Gamer Guy, and I'm very excited to announce that Timeless 2025 is coming to Liverpool here at the Cairns Brewery. So there you go, folks. Timeless Game Convention taking place on the 13th of August. We've already announced the fact we've got the wonderful What Culture Gaming there. We've got wonderful Ash Millman. Ashens is back. We also announced last week that Jason Bradbury is coming back for the VIP evening. So if you've got a VIP ticket or you get a content creator ticket, you get to see Jason Bradbury's new film, Control AI Delete, with a very special test screen. You're going to be some of the first people to get to see it in the whole of the world before they even do the premieres, which is pretty cool. Slopes is back doing his amazing quiz. The lads from Digino Gaming doing a very special event in the evening. And we've got more panels and stuff to announce. Next week, content creator passes will go live. And we will be basically going wild with all the hotels because we've got discounted hotels for you. We were checking out the portal today and everything seems to be working, which is great. So you can get some cheaper hotels than you normally would through our hotel partners. And we hope to announce our first gaming dev panel of the show because we've got plenty of other stuff to announce. So hopefully we'll be announcing all that by Wednesday next week. So stay tuned on all socials and this very channel. So there you go. And yes, there's cosplay as well. And we've got the wonderful MZ Lee doing the Just Dance. And we're doing lots of competitions and prizes. And there's tons of exhibitors that we're going to announce. We're doing everything from Super Mario 3, Just Dance again, Astrobot. And yes, we might as well say it now. We're not doing Mario Kart 8 tournament because we've done it the last 3 years. We can officially tell you that we are doing Mario Kart World Tournament because we did get that Nintendo Switch. So there you go. So yeah, that is happening. For the first time ever, we're doing Mario Kart World Tournament. There you go. He says, Dave, Maggie, about that was for next week. I know. We've told everyone already. Everyone knows that we're announcing that. So don't worry. That's what
that was the announcement for the announcement.
Yeah. Mind you, at least I'm not the one who fucking leaked the venue, Mr. Johnson. So there you go. Anyway, moving on. Get your tickets now. Exclamation Thomas in chat. A game that has probably been remastered more times than I've had hot dinners and has finally made its way onto PC. But is a remaster. But coincides with the fact that the second season of the TV show's out. So that's probably why they need to recoup their money. Ladies and gentlemen, this is The Last of Us Part 2. Remastered, rehashed, remastered, flogged to death again version. Trailer, remastered. Shit. There you go.
I know you wish things were different. I wish things were different. Hey! But they ain't.
You both live, and you wasted it.
You should have killed me.
There you go. So obviously, round about January last year, we had The Last of Us 2 Part 2 remastered come to PlayStation 5. And now the remastered version is now got its PC release. I know I'm making a joke about that. I'm going to say this. I thoroughly enjoyed that game. I loved it. But it does feel that Naughty Dog are flogging a dead horse a lot and trying to make money, especially if they ain't got a game that's coming out until 2028, as we talked about on last week's show. But that aside, if you've not played it, I do recommend it because it is a great game. But for those who don't know what it's about, Dave, please do tell us.
Yeah, this one's following on 5 years after the end of part 1. And the events in this game are directly following on from what happened at the end of part 1. That is what causes things to happen in this game. don't want to say too much. There's probably some people who haven't played it, and there's, don't want to spoil it, but things happen, and it sends Ellie off on a bit of a quest for revenge. Takes to Seattle, where there's another group waiting that she's a couple of groups waiting that she's got to deal with on her quest to find someone. It's a very good game, as you say. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It's quite a sort of I suppose a downer emotionally, the way the story goes, but it's a very well done story. I thoroughly loved it. It did grip me all the way through. I know some people didn't like it because I think some people thought
it's morally questionable. That's why. That's the thing. Because
there's a lot of that. It does go on quite a long time as well. I can remember originally playing it, thinking I was getting somewhere towards the end, and then just glancing at like little title bits in like a walkthrough and thinking, shit, I've still got like over half. I'm not even halfway yet. I've still got hours to go. So it's definitely a lot longer than the first one, which can have a few issues with pacing, but generally, I find it to be a fantastic game.
Yeah,
I do want to get around to playing it again at some point. With this remastered version, PC, there's some site specifics that it adds on there that you saw in trailer, like ultra wide supports all your upscaler, so you can get better graphical quality out of it on lower end systems. And you've got the no return mode, which came with the remastered version. So,
I actually enjoyed that. I played that quite a bit.
That's just a roguelike mode where you can just pick a character, play for a few levels that just sort of just randomly picked, different characters playing them. They're added a few new characters and levels for this release that have also been patched into the PlayStation version recently. So there's a good amount of stuff there in the package. And since the second series of the TV show is out, I think it's
next week.
Next week, it's pretty imminent. Good time to get it out. They've probably been holding this version back for this TV show release, I think, just to have something out there that people can see and watch the show. They think, I'll go and play it. And
watch the show and play the advert for the game and vice versa. So there you go. Greg, your thoughts? Have you ever played this?
I did. I pretty much echo what Dave said without trying to spoil it as well, because I would have, until he said no spoilers, would have gone, oh, yeah, that bit with blah, 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 blah.
Oh, yeah.
No, I enjoyed it. And that bit at the start, gotta be careful what I say. Because this is live, we can't redact it. I knew certain elements before it was going to happen because people would spoil it for me. So I kind of guessed beforehand, and then someone carelessly spoiled it. I was like, fair enough. But it didn't stop my enjoyment of the game. But I do agree with Dave. It did carry on. Oh, it's so hard to say without spoiling the story. It did carry on longer than it needed to. I thought there was going to be some sort of denouement to it, and they were going to wrap it up.
And then
it's a bit like Red Dead 2 when it's just like, I mean, I know Red Dead 2 was a prequel, and everyone knew you could play as Marsden in the first one, but the Marsden bit went on for too long. Or Marsden went bit. Same with this. Like, it was like trying to blank a bit. It should have wrapped up.
You think it should have reached an end,
and then it just was like, oh, here's 10 more hours of game. You're like, oh, fine.
Yeah. You just want to be done sometimes, don't
you? Yeah. You want to shout. You want to grab the characters and be like, just sell your own differences,
Yeah.
You're right. I don't know why this didn't come out last year for PC when the remaster came out for the PS5. I guess because it was still a Sony proprietary thing, then they wanted to keep it to themselves and cash in on the PS5 rather than giving the option to. But it's sit on it for a year and then go, oh, well, now the TV show's coming out. Let's strike while the iron's hot again.
Yeah,
to capitalize on that.
Very careful plan.
I genuinely forgot it was a year that the remaster came out because I was really looking forward to it. And I made that stupid mistake of porting my save, which put the platinum over, which made me go, oh, I can't be arsed now.
Yeah.
So I've got the PS5 version now with a clear save. I haven't touched because I ruined it for myself by. I'm not a trophy hunter, but taking all that away from it, I was just like,
he's like,
I did it with Spider-Man. I would learn my lesson, but apparently not. So I think it is the cynics that we clearly are. It does seem, let's capitalize on the TV show. And I know people do like to spot the difference and that kind of stuff. I just can't wait for the modding community to get hold of it. Because this isn't too much of a spoiler, and don't worry, I'm not going to get my soapbox or go Gamergate or anything. But obviously, there's a lot of criticism around the character of Abby when she first was announced. No woman's going to be that muscly in the future. Why not? They've got a gym there. They've got means to. Anyway, so there was lots of mock-ups about what she should look like, and the DEI side of things and all that. And don't worry, I'm not going to tangentially go into that, but I cannot wait to see what the modding community is going to do to it. They're going to.
I bet someone will replace her with Shrek. Like usually.
I was thinking like something rude, but no, that's it's going to be
It's
the
not
thing.
Shrek,
from
it'll be
Fantastic
Thomas
Four,
Tank
isn't it?
Engine.
Yeah, exactly. Or Macho Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are the
Just coming
classics.
in.
Dave wants Mr. Blobby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you imagine that when she's holding the gun.
It's like not really threatening, are you?
Just running around.
Yeah. Scary.
Gunging them as they're, we let you live. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. There you go.
Noel
Dave says
Edmonds.
I'm clipping that.
Oh,
There you
Mr. Blobby and Noel Edmonds skins. That'd be.
Yes, that'd be great. Joel as Noel Edmonds.
Noel Edmonds.
Wear some dodgy sweaters. There you go. There you go. All right, folks. Well, let's see. What do we think this scored? Let's see. Chat. Get your scores in chat. If you want to win a shout out. Let's have a look. Dave said meh, 7 out of 10. Dan is saying 8.5. Gozzo said 8.5. CEO saying an 8. Chat, get your scores in now. You want to get a shout out? Gonna start with Dave on this one. What do you reckon this got on average for the PC release?
Oh, I'm going for a 9.
Going for a 9. LeBray says Shrek with boobs, jiggle physics. Do you know what? I can't handle that. It's bad enough that we've just had Venom with his arse, and now we're gonna have Shrek with boobs. So it's like that.
Wonders are Gabe.
I know. Flame saying an 8. Kindred saying 8.5. Greg, what do you reckon this got?
Do you know what? I reckon because the PS4 version got absolutely review bombed. I reckon that history's going to repeat and people are going to just trash this again because of the same reasons. But now it's on PC. I'm going to go with this. I'm going to go with a 5. I'm going to lowball it.
Oh,
I reckon people are going to just keep going. Oh, it's like we've said, the cynical cash grab and all that, and repeating the story things and the derogatory things about Neil Druckmann. I reckon it's going to be a lowball one.
Okay, because obviously, as we all know, the PC for the original one was a hideous release when it came out, didn't it?
It was a very
So. But
this one is apparently a lot better technically.
Yeah,
as long as it's not done by the guys that did the Batman ports.
Yeah, oh God, no. Let's see what else people saying. iQuar 8.5. The PC ports normally seem a bit lower for PlayStation games. Jenny says 7.5. Dave's like 5. Bloody hell, or should I say blobby hell? Well, we'll see. Last chance, folks. This is The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered, which came out on PC last Thursday. And get your scores in chat, because I can tell you that this wasn't the shit show that was basically the release of The Last of Us Part 1 remaster that came out on PC. This has certainly done a lot better, and it's actually our highest scoring game of the night because this got 9 out of 10.
Wow, colour me shocked.
So there's only one person, I think, that got that right in chat. In fact, did anyone get it right? Maybe they didn't. Actually, nobody got it right. Nobody got it right. It was a 9 out of 10. There you go. So it's pretty decent. So if you haven't played it, do go play it. David's just giving himself a shout out, even though he put 7.5 or whatever the fuck he put. You lying git, Dave. But there you go. There you go. Anyway, moving on. So, more gaming news. We said we were going to talk more Nintendo. And this was something that Nintendo couldn't really talk about. Oh, good. I got to join in for a remaster. Yes, there you go. There's been 2 actually drawn. Good to see you, buddy. Good to have you here. So, as we know, Switch 2 did the big announcement, showed everything off, showed all the accessories, all the games, told you when it's coming out in June. And then prices came out. And there was debates of, is it too expensive? Blah, 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 which we discussed earlier. And then they announced when the pre-orders were coming out. Now, in this country, it was a bit weird because if you wanted to get from the Nintendo store, it was today. But in America, it's tomorrow. But a lot of stores went live, surprisingly, on the Friday. It certainly caught me out because I was in London at the event. So I was actually on a waiting list for one. And because I didn't reply to the email, because I didn't know they were going live, I fucking didn't get mine. I totally missed it. And I had a guaranteed one. But because I didn't reply within the space of 2 hours, I missed it. Yeah, Kindred had free on Friday. As some of you know in the Discord, I then went hunting for some. And on Sunday, managed to find one, but didn't realize I had to fucking pay up front for it because at the place I got it for, I didn't have to do that for the PlayStation 5. I paid for that on collection. So it's like, bollocks. So then went back there on the yesterday to then find out they'd actually sold all of them. They still had 800 left when I went, and then by the Monday morning, they're fucking gone. And then to sit down and get an email to tell me that from John Lewis, they had some, and within 5 minutes, I managed to get one, and 5 minutes later, they'd all sold out again. So I was like, thank God. So we finally managed to get one, which was great. But it was a bit chaotic because no one actually knew that they were coming out earlier.
No, caught me off guard as well.
Yeah.
I was just lucky. I went on to Very, I think about 6, 7 in the evening, and it just happened that most of the day, like the Mario Kart pack was just sold out. I just clicked on it at one point, and it just had the option to pre-order, so I just quickly grabbed
it. Yeah,
yep.
It's been chaos. Now, luckily for us Brits and other people in other countries, it has been a lot easier. It doesn't sound easy, obviously, the way I've just described it, but it has been easier because in America, some of the pre-orders are being delayed, and it's not by Nintendo. It was due to their president, because President Trump announced, as they're calling it, his Trump tariffs. And this isn't just against Nintendo. It's basically against all things manufacturing, because they want to have more things manufactured in America and do more for their economy, which I get. I get that point of view in that respect. But to make that happen, he slapped high tariffs on certain countries. So basically, most of the places, there's a baseline tax of around about 10% for the UK. So if anything's manufactured in the UK, it's like a 10% tax, etc. For things made in China and Japan, it's 34% tax. And then this is the kicker, because Nintendo knew that there was taxes in China, and they moved production from China over to Vietnam. And Trump has just announced a 46% tax on goods made in Vietnam, making it barely like ridiculous for companies to basically produce stuff and bring it over. This means that Nintendo are now kind in a crisis moment, and they are delaying certain pre-orders in America. So it's really going to hit America the hardest, not so much in other countries. I get what I'm not going to go down the political route. I'm going to say that now. We're not going to do that. I get they want to do more manufacturing in America, because any country wants to get more manufacturing in their own country to make things viable and get the economy going. But it does feel like it's a bit of a fucking kick in the ass when there's people, because this ain't going to just affect Nintendo. It's going to affect lots of other things, car manufacturing, music stuff. There's going to be lots of other areas it's going to affect. And you just kind of go, this is insane. So for a lot of people out there, I know, like, obviously we've got Drawn Unicycle in chat, you know, who's over in Philly. He says, like, do you want to see why I want to come to the UK for 2 weeks now? Yes, I do, mate. I see why you want to come for 2 weeks. Bless you. He's coming to Timeless, and then he wants to stay in the UK for 2 weeks. TVs, anything like that. It's just mental. So I get it's difficult to get a Nintendo Switch in this country, but Christ, don't moan about it if you don't get one, because there's people that have got it fucking worse than we have.
What did you say the Vietnam tax was? 43%?
46%.
46. So you're looking at say it's $399 or $400 for it. You look over at, what's that? Nearly $580.
Yeah.
Yeah, there could also be like the reciprocal tariffs, because I think China has talked about putting it up on America, and then America also.
Well, it's just going to become a pissing contest, isn't it? Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah. So I guess Nintendo are just going to like hedging their bets at the moment. They can't open pre-orders; they don't know what price they can sell it for.
Yeah.
They haven't changed the launch date. It's still launching the same day in the US.
Yeah, launch is still June the 5th.
For all four people that will afford them.
Yeah.
I Trump will have one. Yeah.
Yeah, when you get your £4,000 Nintendo Switch too. Yeah.
I think some of the UK stocks already up on like eBay from the scalpers, like 600 odd quid. Probably some of the US people might do good to just buy those while they can. Probably work out cheaper. Buy off a UK scalper, so they're waiting for a proper US release.
Kindred says G.I. Joe's, Transformers, board games, whose biggest manufacturers in China, so tariffs for some of the big toy companies are going mental as well. Yeah, it affects.
I mean, what piece of like plastic hardware, or I mean, I know games console aside, but what piece of board game pieces or whatever, Games Workshop stuff? I'm generalizing. I don't know the specifics of where these things are, but I mean, on the whole, what do you not see that's not made in China or made in Taiwan?
9 times out of 10, made in China, made in Taiwan,
utensils, things like that, like medical equipment. You know, I come from working in a surgical field, so I know how much things cost on a general scale of like anesthetic machine. We're talking big surgical things. I'm not going to start breaking stuff down, but that's going to be just, well, we know what the American healthcare system's like without getting into that. But it's just, I can see, like you said, I can see what you're trying to do for the GDP of their own country, but to then like basically outcost everything else
is just insane.
Yeah, because like all the good stuff comes from abroad. Not, you know what I mean? Like,
it's
like, well, you can pay less to get it made in America. It's like, yeah, but we like the stuff from abroad. Well, you can't because it's 50% price increase. It's 80% price increase. So you got to buy ours now, and it's like, oh, cool, shoddy stuff. Thanks, Trump.
It's nuts. My heart goes out to everyone who was really.
He's a businessman through and through, isn't he? That's
he is.
Oh, completely.
I get that. And there you go. So John said, not to mention we literally can't manufacture half the crap we import without doing shipping gymnastics. That would just increase more costs. And then Kindred says, and if the 104% tariff is introduced, it would be cheaper to charter a plane on holiday and buy stuff elsewhere and take it back to the USA. But I bet then the fucking customs have got something to say about that.
Like you know, when people go over to buy cheap booze and cheap fags and stuff over the border, stuff like that. It'd be like that kind of thing, but on a bigger, grander scale, which is not good for the environment. Chartering, like, we drive over the border and get ferries and stuff, but you know, you imagine plane. They'll see what people are doing and just whack up plane tickets.
Yeah, it's gonna be insane. So yeah, not the greatest start. Not Nintendo's fault by any chance, but we are going to be talking more Nintendo Switch 2 a little bit later on, because there is still a little bit more controversy to talk about Nintendo Switch 2. Shock horror, but there you go. So let's move on to our next game. This came out on Friday. This is on PS4, 5, Xbox Series X, S1, and Nintendo Switch. And this is the Renovator Origins. Let's have a look at the trailer for this. There you go. Jenny says the music's terrifying. Yeah, so we've gone from cute little games like Croc to this. CEO says, well, this looks creepy. So Dave, tell us a little bit about this, because this isn't the first one in the series, is it? So, but this is your, as it says, an origin story.
Well, so I don't know about any of the games in the series, I'm afraid, but yeah. Tagline with Origins. So yeah, we'll go with it being a prequel to other games. This is this is a first-person psychological horror game. So it sounds, from what I could gather in this one, your character's trying to sort of solve the mystery of his father's death, and it looks like he's gone to like a big sort of mansion house, gets trapped in there, and you kind of got to explore the house, try and find a way out. And it sounds like there's like another world you can enter as well through some of the artwork. So you'll be exploring the house and then going to like these artworks where it all looks a bit different and strange, and there'll be some sort of terrifying stuff in there that you've got to try and survive. So yeah, bit puzzle solving thrown in there as well. So it looks like a bit of a sort of psychological survival horror type game.
It's a bit like like your Layers of Fear and that kind of stuff. That reminds me.
That's sort of double A sort of level of horror game. Looks okay. If it's part of a series, then I guess people who like the series probably be looking forward to playing this one. I guess you're looking for something a bit new in the horror genre.
Yeah,
looks
okay. There you go. Cool. Greg, thoughts on this horror game?
Yeah, I mean the sort of gap that PT left in the market really is, every year or so there's always a good 4 or 5 games that are the first person psychological horror, like I said, Layers of Fear, Visage. We've had Made of Scur. We've had more that I can't suddenly think of right now. Someone help me out. There's been quite a few, but Mortuary Assistant, all that kind of stuff. The interactive puzzle type things. Like some of them are just walking simulators with jump scares. Some of them are actually interactive mediums. involving mediums, where there are sort of puzzle elements as well. I think if it is part of an ongoing series, I've never heard of it. Or if it is just optimistically putting a tagline on so they can generate a series, like a lot of films do nowadays. Where they make films with sequel bait into them. I wonder if they're trying to like the Renovator, the Project Finisher, that kind of thing. Yeah. I mean, I'm kind of burnt out on first-person horror games. I reviewed a few and I've played a few, but I mean, I'm just sad that PT got cancelled. But I mean, it looks all right. It's all I can really say about it.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Folks, get your scores in. What do you think to this? We've got a couple of people who've got scores in. People so far, Danka and Gozzo going for 7s. John Unicycle says, also look like to walk around and be scared the game. And I love these. So it's going to get a 7.5. So Greg, I'll actually start with you on this one. What do you reckon this got?
I'm going to go general consensus and go for a 7, I think.
Okay, going for a 7. Watch Greg jump out of his seat playing horrors. Funny as fuck, says Dave.
Oh, yes, because you were there when I played Visage and I absolutely hated it.
Yeah, I fucking scared the shit out of me as well.
I couldn't do that. Do you know what? I reviewed it and I gave it a really good score for being straight after PT.
Yeah.
And, it literally filled that gap straight away. But, God, and it was like, oh, there's 5 different ways of playing it. I'm like, I don't like playing it one way.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It was like, oh, if you do a certain door at the start, if you interrupt with a certain thing, it starts another character's story. I'm like, no, I don't want to. I don't want to finish this one.
Yeah. I never got to the end of it, but it scared the crap out of me last Halloween when we played it. Kindred didn't see the trailer for this one, so going for a 7. That's fine, Kindred. Flame says 7.5. Dave says, alas, 7. Theo says 7.5. iQuail, 6.5. Jenny says an 8. Dave, what say you?
I'm going to try a 7.
Going for a 7 as well. So Greg and Dave going for a 7. Yep. Chat, last chance. This is the Renovator Origins. It came out last Friday on PS4, 5, Xbox Series X, S1, and Nintendo Switch. And if there are no more scores in the chat, I can tell you that this, gentlemen, you did good because you're both going to get shout outs because this got a 7 out of 10 on average. Yeah. So there you go. Average, so, firstly, Greg's second one right this evening. Go check out all. Yes, too many shout outs. There is all his things, but go check out the Fingerguns blog. That is the main one. Go follow him on that. Go follow him on Twitter as well because he followed me on Twitter. Cheers for that. We don't call it X because fuck that guy. Well done. Well, you got that one right. We will come to you in a minute, Dave. Let's see who else got it right. Dave Johnson, you got it right yourself. So, iQuell, can you shout out Dave after he's finished doing the scores? Kindred, you got it right. Congratulations. Gozzo, you got it right. Danke, you got it right. Well done. You lot are awesome. Well done for you getting it all right there. Check you out. Exclamation Dave in chat for Dave. Dave, how would you like your next shout out?
You can do some spinning on your chair, mate.
Spinning on the chair. Right, let's do this.
Just mind
let's
your
make
knees.
it happen. Here we go. Ready? Go. Dave!
Very nice.
There you go. Fucking hell, I'm dizzy. There you go. I can't focus, so I've got to hit the button. There you go. Nice. Thank you very much. So there you go. If you like a bit of horror, it's worth checking it out. There you go. I can't focus on the screen. Probably didn't help that I had a cheeky beer. I don't normally have a can of Coke, but I thought,
clearly you weren't a ballet dancer in your previous,
No, my toes are shot to shit. Yes. There you go. Right. Let's move on to our final news story of the night. Again, talking Switch 2. And again, it's a couple of things. We talked about earlier about how Nintendo Switch people are saying, oh, the consoles are a little bit expensive. The game itself, Mario Kart, seems expensive. Mario Kart World, the new Donkey Kong seems expensive, more expensive than normal Switch games. And the one thing that a lot of people picked up on, and Nintendo got a lot of shit for it because it got a lot of complaints, especially on the Nintendo Treehouse Direct. There was a lot of complaints on that. A lot of people kicking up a fuss, saying this needs to be cheaper, this needs to be cheaper, this needs to be cheaper. But the thing that they felt that really took the piss was the $10 tech demo. The $10 tech demo that teaches you how to use your Switch. And when they were showcased it, and everyone like, this looks cool. So like we got the Astrobot thing on PlayStation 5, which was a free game. and was fun to play. And I said, this is like a tutorial, gets you to use accessories and lots of games. And you can download it for a price of $10. And everyone was like, you can get fucked. I thought was insane. However, Nintendo did put out a statement, and they are stating that their prices are justified. I don't know how they can justify the demo, but they did state that, it's a new system, there's new tech. Not everyone has to download it if they don't want. If it's a bit of fun, it's worth $10. But they basically said that Bill Trivian, who is the VP of pricing and product, basically said that they had to weigh up a number of things. They looked at what the value was for some of these games and the value of the console itself and what you would get out of it. So like the longevity. So they're basically saying that Mario Kart World is such a big game and an open world game, hence why everything that was put into it, they looked at the value of it and what people value in terms of the price and what value people get out of the time. And that's why they've set the prices. Same with the Donkey Kong game. Same with the consoles. There's still an argument to be made here because you could get, like, say the new Assassin's Creed came out and it was about, I don't know, what was it, 50 quid, 55 quid? Was it slightly more expensive than that?
So it's about 70 now. It's
about 70 quid, right?
Yeah.
And you might get 40 out, they're saying 40 or plus more hours out of it. So if you are, as we were saying, weighing up things on time is not such a great thing. But they are standing by it and justifying it. And they are saying that the focus on the content and the focus on the value, and as Dave said earlier, the fact that things are not cheap now, the amount of people that it takes to develop these things and make these things, that they are standing by their prices. And they even did that with the tech demo, which I just don't understand why you would charge $10 for a tech demo. But they basically, the VP said, we stand by this and this is why we're doing it. And every comment when people asked, his thing was, we look at the value and we look at what you would get out of it. And that's what has come to this price. But this kind of reverts back to our first story, doesn't it? Because then you kind of go, well, if that's how they're viewing it, it just means the prices are just going to keep going up.
And that will set a precedent for anyone else sending out a tech demo and go, well, hang on,
Yeah.
Do you want to pay £5 to play this demo of such? You think, like, Sony learnt the hard way when they released the Order 1886.
Yeah.
And then that was a tech demo for 40 quid. And everyone went, it's 4 hours long. And that's why I think Astro's Playroom was free, because they went, actually, we probably shouldn't charge for this. But you're right, it's going to set a precedent going, well, if Nintendo can do it, and people love Nintendo, so why don't we charge £5 to play? I know you can get game trials on Plus now, but obviously you are paying for Plus, and it arguments the whole, is it free, is it not, because it's part of a... But yeah, it will start sending out messages that you can play a game that's not on Plus for a trial for 10 quid, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And what did they double down with? Didn't Doug Bowser do a Don Matic and say, well, you can just still buy Switch games if you're that bothered, like Switch One games?
I was like, well, thanks.
Tone deaf, that is. Yeah. Well, we don't want to pay 80 quid or 100 quid for your new Switch 2 games and £10 for demos. We'll go and buy Switch 1 games then. They're still available. Yeah, but you're paying Nintendo tax on them and they're still fucking expensive. Do you want to play Doom on Switch for 50 quid? No, I'll play it on Game Pass.
Yeah. I know. Yeah. Day one, play the new Doom next month. Game Pass. Oh, yeah. John Newside said, fuck me, give me a manual and I'll know how to use it.
No, you have to pay for the manual as well.
Yeah, you got to pay for that. And
they'll print your own, yeah.
Yeah, no, well, yeah. But you know what? That was it. Oh, my God. That just reminds me of EGX. Do you want your tickets sent to you, but we still charge you to print your own tickets? I did that last year. I was like, fuck's sake. Here's a Nintendo manual. You can pay for the postage, which will be 50 quid, or we can send it to you by email, but that only will cost you 45 quid.
It'll be a partnership with Inkjet where it'll just be printed in cyan. So that's the only color is cyan. It's just going to burn through your color printer jet.
Page 1 of 742 now printing.
Yeah, English is 500. It's like, oh God.
Yeah. And just on a side note, we do, as Dave said, we do know a guy who actually makes Switch manuals for games, and he spends a lot of time on them. And he's not endorsed by Nintendo, but he makes them and they're really good. And it's Rowan, and he is not a plug for Timeless. He will be at Timeless. He's not selling the manuals there, but he will be there. And you do go check him out. He's going to be at Knott's, actually. He will be at Knott's. You can buy him. And I think he does them for all the games. So he'll probably start doing for the Switch too. They are really well made as well. So all those people that used to love the little manuals in there, you can get them from him. He spent a lot of time and effort on that. It's amazing what he does with that. But there you go. But yeah, he has an Etsy shop. Yeah, there you go. In fact, Dave, if you can find the link, drop it in the chat, or Drawn Unicycle. Either of you, put the link, because Rowan's a great guy, and if you fancy getting a Nintendo Switch manual to go with the thing, which isn't going to cost you heaven and earth, so there you go. But yeah, he sold at MCM Comic Con. Dave helped him and stuff. Anyway, there you go. Let's move on because time's ticking along. Let's move on to our next game. I am super excited for this game. This came out today, made by Compulsion Games, the people behind We Happy Few. This is on Game Pass as of today on Xbox Series X and S and PC. Kindred is playing it right now. And if you want to see my reaction, I will be playing this now on Thursday night, starting from 8:30. Thursday night, 8:30. We are talking about a game that is pretty much hotly tipped and was in our top 50 games to look out for this year. This is South of Midnight.
There's a fine line between mercy and justice. Ain't that right, Hazel Flood? You chose a hard road for yourself.
Hazel, please, it isn't safe.
We got a long journey ahead.
I'm always fast enough.
It's not safe out there, Hazel.
If I was the one missing, she wouldn't stop looking.
Crouton?
What the? And this ain't even the weirdest thing I've seen today. I'm seeing these things.
You can see strands. And now you're looking for a creature. You're a weaver, aren't you?
Hello?
There's something big out there.
Take this and go find your mama.
I'll come back.
You better. I gotta know how this tale of Hazel ends. Hazel, no!
This ends now. Mama?
Oh my life, we're getting another raid just as we played that trailer. Big Fuzzy Yak, thank you for the raid. Big Fuzzy Panda, hello. I saw Big Fuzzy Yak at New Game Plus last week. It was lovely to see you. Hope you're well. Thank you so much for the raid. Welcoming in. I am Middle-Aged Gamer Guy. This is Tuesday Night Gaming Chat, where we talk about all the latest games and news. We are literally talking about South of Midnight, which came out today. Thank you so much for that raid. Much love to you, Big Fuzzy Yak, and your other half, Big Fuzzy Panda. Love you guys to bits. And we are just about to talk about South of Midnight. Big Fuzzy Yak coming in straight with a score. We'll do that in a minute, but there you go. So, Dave, for those who don't know, tell us about this game. I'm really hyped to play this. I can't wait to play this.
Yeah, so this is set in the deep south of America. It's taking cues from a lot of southern folklore, which is something we don't often get in games. So it's something that's I think looks pretty cool. Something a bit different than the usual thing. You're playing as Hazel in this particular world, and your mother's gone missing in a big flood. So you go on a bit of a quest to try and find her. Meeting lots of like colourful characters from southern folklore along the way. She discovers that she's a weaver and has all these abilities that she can use, and has to use those to solve puzzles, exploring the world, and in combat fighting these enemies on her quest. I think generally the game looks pretty good. I like the sort of stop motion animation it's gone for. The sort of character design looks good, music and all that side of it looks good. Gameplay wise, I think it just looks like your standard third person exploration action game. I think gameplay wise, from what I've read in a few reviews, is nothing particularly special. But I think because all the other stuff in it surrounding it is good, story's good, characters good, etc. It sort of does help lift it up a little bit. I think if we didn't have all that stuff, we'd probably have had lower scores. But with all the other stuff with it, it's sort of helped get the scores up there. So I think it is still worth playing. But I'd say, combat wise and stuff, it looks like your average third person action game that we've all played to death over the years.
Yeah.
But I have to say, all the sudden stuff it's got to it, all that looks really cool to me, and I would still play it because of that, just to sort of see what it's like and experience it. So I'll definitely get around to playing it at some point. Not going to jump in on day one. Too many other games to play at the minute. I haven't got room for this one at all. But I'll definitely get to it at some point because I think it does still look pretty cool.
Greg, your thoughts on this?
I think it's one of those games that's definitely the style sells the substance of it. I think had it been one particular art style or one particular generic art style, it would have been just any other sort of third person action adventure game like Flintlock that came out, and then who's played that recently?
Yeah, unfortunately,
that was another Gunsy Souls game that just kind of came, went off. It went. I think with this, with the art style, the stop motion stuff, is going to be a strong selling point for it. You'd be like, have you played? I forgot already. South of what's it called? It's gone.
South of
just watched it. South of Midnight. I was gonna. My brain just went. Whoop. Until I haven't been on camera for a while. Yeah, I think someone's gonna have you played this, or was it play like third person? Oh yeah, but it looks really good. It's got this style to it. It reminds me of Bramble.
Bramble.
But I think the thing that's going to get me though is when you have a game that has like gameplay in 60 FPS and the cutscene goes 30 FPS. Jedi Survivor did that.
Yeah,
where it would flick between sort of quality and performance mode. So your cutscene would be in 30 FPS and the gameplay would be smooth again, or it would reverse it. I think that's a bit disjointed because the cutscenes look really smooth and the gameplay went to that stop motion stuff.
Yeah, it looks.
Like, I'm going to be looking at my refresh rate on my PlayStation, going, why is it doing that? Oh wait, no, it's meant to be doing that. But I mean, again, that's just me being cynical and contrarian. I think the style does. I think the style is what will sell the substance, and I think that's what will push it because it'll be it's like this, but it looks really nice.
Yeah,
and hopefully people will see that and think, oh yeah, maybe so, rather than just a generic
kind
of game.
John Unisaga saying, I'm excited to see this, but I do agree with Greg about the cutscenes looking different from the gameplay. Yeah, that is the thing.
I'm glad it wasn't just me sort of nitpicking that.
Yeah. I think because we've not seen much gameplay from it until earlier this year when they did the showcase, it was kind of like we weren't quite sure what we were getting, but I think it still looks kind of cool. Gozzo says, hopefully, if this game does very well in sales on Xbox, then it'll do what Indiana Jones has done by coming to the PS5. So, yeah, this could be another game that go as a limited release on Xbox Game Pass and then comes to PS5 if it does well. I could see that happening, actually. I can honestly see it. A lot of people thought it was like a Telltale game for the first trailer due to stop motion look.
Yeah,
I get that, but then I kind of thought it would be because Compulsion don't really do that kind of game. And I'll be honest.
No, it would look like a narrative game. Sorry to interrupt.
As much as I like We Happy Few, that was a game that dragged on for far too long than it ever should and ended up being just okay. This, I think, is going to be their game that really sets the standard for them. I hope, because this is kind of like their third big game. So hopefully this will be the one that does it. Let's get to scores then, folks. We get scores. We've got to crack on because we are running a bit late. So we're going to hammer through some stuff.
I've got to be up at 5:30 in the morning.
Oh, shit. Okay, well, we're going to go even quicker.
Let's just cut it now.
Just cut it now. Well, thanks very much. And
that's just the middle-aged cut. Oh, I've got to be up soon.
Yeah, cheers. Thanks for watching. Good night. No, let's do the review. So, because people be going, fucking hell, I gave a score and I never got a shout out. Let's see what we got. What did people saying? Gozzo says an 8. Danker did predicted scores because this was in our top 50 games to look out for early in this year when we did the 2 specials in January. So his predicted score was an 8 as well. Big Fuzzy Yak came straight in, said 7.5. Also for the game, Jordan Unicycle 8.5. CO said a 7 for this one. Chat, get your scores in now. If you get it right, you'll get a shout out. Jenny saying a 7. Kindred saying an 8. iQuail saying an 8. Gozzo still sticking with an 8. LeBray saying an 8. Everyone's going for 8s here. Dave, what say you?
I think I'm going to try an 8 as well.
Go for an 8 as well. Greg, what do you reckon?
I'm going to throw out my first half and go 8.5. I'm feeling optimistic on this one.
Ah,
as I was so massively wrong with Last of Us, to try and redeem myself a little bit.
Okay, all right. We'll see. Last chance, folks. This is South of Midnight, which came out today on Xbox Series X and S and PC and is on Game Pass. And if you want to see more of it, I will be playing it on Thursday night at 8:30 UK time. And if there are no more scores in the chat, I can tell you that this did get 8s from certain reviewers, but most people went 0.5 the wrong way, and this got a 7.5 on average.
Oh, I was thinking that as well.
Yeah, and I was like, I really wanted this to be 8 or slightly better. IGN gave it a really good write-up, gave it an 8, and a few others did. But it's kind of there. I think on Metacritic, it's like a 7.7 or something. But on most of the reviews, it's just under. So no one got it. I don't think anyone got it right.
What's surprising? IGN gave something a positive.
Yeah.
Obviously wasn't.
Big Fuzzy Yak. Big Fuzzy Yak got it right. Dave, Big Fuzzy Yak, our raider got it right. So we've got to give a shout. So there you go. Amazing. She's psychic. She raided at the time of the trailer and did it. Thank you, Big Fuzzy Yak. There you go. But yeah, I agree, Mag. There should be an 8 on this one. I agree. I think it should be all higher. But I will make my own judgment on Thursday. So there you go. Swiftly moving on to our last game, folks. This also came out today on Nintendo Switch. It's another one of those graphic novel things, games that, you know, me and Dave don't really give 2 fucks about. But we know there's people in the community that like these games, so that's why we include them. So here we go with one of these games. This is Battlefield Waltz, which I do believe was a PSP title originally and has now come to Switch, if my memory serves me correct. That's the only thing I know about it. I don't give a fuck about any rest of it. So there you go. Murder, intrigue, music, and fuck all gameplay.
What is that all about?
Yeah, well, Dave, you can explain it, because we get this with these trailers all the fucking time.
Yeah, they're a bit hard to unravel. Yeah, this is a visual novel game. I think in this particular one, the girl that you're playing as, Lan, she's had a pretty bad day. I think her village and her father have been destroyed in a war.
A bad day.
Pretty bad day, yeah. It could have gone better.
The dogs.
Things will be better tomorrow, even though we got no house or no town.
The bed days, definitely. After that has happened, she picks up a sword to protect herself, and it happens to be one of those cursed swords. got like an entity living in it. And it's one of these swords that can change like the fate of a nation and whatnot. And she ends up going off with the sword to an academy, so that sort of train, so she can help fight on the battlefield and save the nation. And while she's there, there's various blokes there. You can see in the trailer, one called Lustin, cracking name. And
Jenny
you get to kind of like
Wilhelms.
Yeah. And you get to kind of sort of do some romance and date them and progress the story along.
Because that's what you first thought is after you've had your village razed and your family killed is really want to get some now. That'll take my mind off of it.
Yeah.
Can the sword watch?
Yeah.
Why not? Yeah.
Got a cursed sword and want to get laid. Simple.
That's it. Shocking. I'm sorry. That's just what the fuck was that game all about? When the music started, I generally thought it was Vanessa Carlton. Terry Crews on the side. That's what I thought it was. And I was just like, oh god, I've got the giggles now. That trailer was just so bad. It was just.
There you go. A bunch of hot anime boys fight over her to cheer her up from her bad day, and then they kiss and dance.
I'm sorry your dad's died. Do you want to go to the ball?
Danka, who are you? I'm Lusty. I don't want to know about your sex life. But oh dear.
This just in, Lustin is
it's just bad, right? You know what? We try and cover all types of games, but I'm getting to a point where I'm thinking some of these games are taking the piss, really. So
yeah, there's definitely some genres we could skip, I'm sure.
Yeah. I'm sorry that I had to make you both sit through that, and I'm sorry to the audience as well. But Greg, have you got any form of opinion, or should we just skip to the scores?
Skip. I can't even generate. And I kind of just. I'll tell you what. No, I'll give an honest 4. I reckon that's going to be just
honest 4. Honest 4.
It's ticking all the trope boxes. It's just going to be.
Yeah. All right. Dave says skip out of 10. Yeah, definitely put it in a skip. iQuail 3.5. CO 5 out of 5. Oh, Dave said a 4 as well. Jenny says a 6. Gozzo said a 7. Big Fuzzy Yak said 6.5. John Unisoccer said 6.5. Danko was like 7. Anybody else? Jenny's loads. Jenny says a 3 now. It's insane that I've sat through the trailer so many times. I know.
You don't need to.
No, you know, no one's forcing you at gunpoint. Or have you got a cursed sword next to you? That might explain it. Kindred says a 2. Dave, what say you on our final game?
I'm going to go for like the average 7 for this.
Average 7. Okay.
It probably will, won't it? Because there are people that like these kind of things.
Oh, yeah.
Because there'll be 4 reviews. That'll be really high scores. That's how
exactly.
it work. Yeah.
Yeah. At least you know it ain't going to get a 9 because we've already had the highest scoring game of the night. So at least that's something. I'm not giving anything away there. LeBray says a 5. Folks, last chance. This is Battlefield Waltz, which came out today on Nintendo Switch. Give any fucks. This. Never going to get sponsored by them, but again, don't give a fuck. This got, and do you know what, Dave? You hit the money right on the head when you said this. 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10 on average.
All 5 Metacritic reviews.
Yeah. All 5. If anyone wants to go on Metacritic, can you see how many reviews it's got? That would be quite funny. Just go and have a look. Just have a look.
We're on there, and it won't have us on it.
Yeah. 7 out of 10, folks. So, exclamation Dave for Dave in the chat, please. Gozzo and Danka got it right as well. Thank you. No one got a full house of scores this week. No one got 8 out of 8 this week. So, I think they got caught out on a couple. I think The Last of Us caught a couple of people out. And obviously, South of Midnight caught a couple of people out. So, but there you go. But congratulations to everyone who got them right. And as I always say, please do go follow these people. They are streamers as well. If they got them right and their link is there, please. Only 6 reviews on Metacritic. There you go. That says it all.
That's how averages work.
There you go. There you go. Yeah, that average is fucked then, isn't it? Didn't even have 7 reviews. It was like 1 point per review.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Someone gave it 2 out of 10 and the rest gave it 1 out of 10. So, yeah, go follow them and do it. Go support those people because they spend their time watching this wonderful show that we put on for you. So go spend some time watching those wonderful people, just like Gozzo, Drawn Unicycle, Big Fuzzy Yak, all those wonderful people that are in chat right now. Please do give them a follow. Thank you for the support. So there you go, folks. That is our show. We are done for another night. Sorry we ran a little bit late. Thank you to our amazing guest, Greg from Fingerguns.net. Can we get another load of shout-outs in the chat? Please do go follow him on everything. Go check out his blog. He literally, the other week, wrote a review for Mullet Madjack that we played last night on stream, which is perfect timing. So, yeah, that game is fantastic. Loved it, every minute of it. So there you go. Other week, it was 4 days ago. That was last week to me.
It was last week.
Yeah.
What? He's such a pedant.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah, suck it, Dave. There you go. Screw you, Greg. There we go. We can start another war now. But anyway, thank you so much, Greg. Thank you for being on the show.
Thank you for having me both. I've appreciated it. It's been nice to chat with like-minded people with other cynical views like me as well.
Awesome. We like to be as cynical as possible on this show. Yep. That's great. As always, the king of cynical. Let's hear it for Dave Jones, our co-host that knows the most. Thank you very much, Dave. Being our fountain of knowledge as always. And of course, thank you to all the mods, Dave Johnson included. I'm not actually going to diss him.
He does a good job.
He does a very good job. So well done. Thank you to all the rest of my wonderful mods there. iQuell, Drawn Unicycle have been here tonight. Sophie as well, who was here earlier. Thank you to them. Thank you to everyone in chat and everyone who's raided and for the subs. Greatly appreciate it. We love doing this show every week. And thank you for your support. As you know, we've done 211 shows of this stuff. If you lot didn't like it, we wouldn't fucking do it. So there you go. Our next show next week, we'll be back. And our guests are another first time guests. They are a podcast called Gamer Older Podcast. We got two of the team from Gamer Older on the show next week. And ironically, I am being interviewed by them. See how this works tomorrow night, where you will see a future episode come out, which we were talking all about. Surprise, surprise, Timeless Gaming Convention. So you will get to meet those wonderful people from that podcast on next week's show. And we've got tons of games to talk about. Not going to tell you which, because knowing my luck, after the reviews won't come out, or after the games will get delayed within a week's notice, and it'll mess up my whole process. So I'm not going to say what we've got lined up next week. If you want to see some more streams, tomorrow night, it is community night as voted by you. We are playing some Sussy Sussness in Among Us. That's at 8:30. And as I mentioned, south of midnight on Thursday at 8:30, if you want to check out that game, which we just talked about a few moments ago. We are going to go do a raid. I'm going to see who's on for some raidy goodness. I got a feeling I know one of them. You might do. I'm meeting them for the first time tomorrow. So I'm looking forward to meeting the team of Gamer Older Podcast. They invited me on, so which is very, very good of them. So I said, why not come on our show as well? Because that's how it works, isn't it? So we could... Oh, God, there's a lot of people on tonight. Fucking hell. It's always a lot on a Tuesday night. No one on the top shelf there. Let's see if there's anyone we haven't raided in a while. Oh, is see now Trizcat's on. Thank you for gracing my TV today. You're very welcome. Trizcat is the lady that plays, if I've got this right. She does all the cool stuff with Tomb Raider. We haven't raided for a long time, and she was in when we did the Tomb Raider stream. But she's actually making levels for Tomb Raider right now, which is quite cool. That's cool. So I think we should send her some love. So we're going to go raid Trizcat. I think I haven't raided her since probably last year. So we've got to send her some love because she raided me literally, when was it? February? The remasters came out, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, so let's do that. That raid should start any minute now, which it just has. Give you your love there. I will drop the link in chat in case the raid doesn't go over. So there you go. Come back and see us soon, Greg. Yes, please do.
Oh, well, yeah, no, I've had a really good time on this. So, yeah, I'll be happy to come back at some point.
Get you back, and we'll wangle you some press passes for Timeless. I'm sure we can sort that out. And if Dave says no, fuck him, because it's I own it. So
yeah, let's do the opposite everything Dave says.
Yeah, he'll probably now say give you press passing, and I'll stupidly take you off the list. But there you go. So we'll see how that goes. Anyway, thank you so much, everyone. Give Greg money. That didn't work at all. I don't know what you should have said. Don't give Greg money.
Yeah.
There you go. Anyway, we're going to raid out. Thank you so much. See you either tomorrow or next week. Thank you so much. Good night. Bye.